everybody. Good morning. Thanks for joining us for Politically Incorrect Knitters. I am Deplorable Knitter. This fabulous lady is Ann Pinkaba, and thanks for being here. Look at her in her beautiful Chicken Lady sweater. Holy moly, repping for the team here. It's gorgeous. And speaking of, we are sponsored by Chicken Lady Fiber Arts. And no, I don't want that on for 10 seconds. Oh, geez, whatever. You can use our code BenFranklin, PIK, to get 20% off of your order of $50 or more at chickenladyfiberarts.com. Her stuff is fantastic, and it's great, and we love her.
We do love her. We do love her a lot. I got a package from her yesterday, and I'm going to show off the yarn because it's so great. Okay. So,
my package, I got the notification that it was at the post office this morning. I didn't have time to get it, so I'm going to be surprised with yours.
Okay, well, we were talking was it last week? Week before? May have just been last week.
It was last week. Yeah.
About Sentimental Journey, which I now have in hand.
I know. Well, look at that.
Isn't it beautiful? Look at that.
Gorgeous. It's beautiful yarn.
Surima sock. It is just stunning. It's got the very sea blues in there and your reds, and yeah, all very khaki, very patriotic, but in the slight kind of vintage faded way, part of Sentimental Journey. And this is from the exceptionally exclusive yarn club at Chicken Lady Fiber Arts, so don't sleep on that.
Beautiful.
It is absolutely gorgeous. And yes,
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, can I just tell you that I discovered that she made a color called Tone Deaf that I am in love with, and somehow it never came up on my feed and I missed it. And I saw it the other day and I was like, oh my God, I love this. It's like green with different colors. Oh, it's my color. It's so beautiful. That is so beautiful. I love her yarns. I can't.
Of course. And Amy in chat says she ordered Gray Rocking, which
was that it?
It is it. Okay. And it is this beautiful, clean charcoaly tone with this really rich purple, like beginning of the Lent calendar purple, just deep and gorgeous, and it blends well in there. So
beautiful.
And she also sent me this is one of her I goofed colorways, but also look at that. It's
and I cannot wait to open my Sentimental Journey. I have so many exciting plans for doing useful things around my house, and I might not. We'll see what happens once I get that in my hands.
Yeah, this is kind of a dusky, kind of sea green, kind of it's all my favorite colors. So yeah, those are beautiful. And speaking of all my favorite colors, she has a mini skein set here, foliage. So here, I'm gonna pop this open so y'all can see it better. But it is all the rich fall colors.
So if somebody said, "Hey, make a color palette for Ann," there you go.
Right there.
Maybe with some green in there, but yeah, or some, but yeah.
Well, a little bit. But reads a little more.
No, how about some thicket?
It's true. I don't have any sitting here. I'll just match my sweater.
I'm just saying.
But yes, it is absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Lynn. But yeah. Oh, also the kind of the brindles that she does in here.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know that's not what it's called in yarn world. It's, tonal, speckle, whatever. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I always think of fur, I guess.
Chicken Lady says thicket goes with everything. And you know what? Honestly, I do feel like it's a neutral. It's not a classic neutral that you would think of because you think of gray, tan, white, black, right? But it does have that quality where it does go with a ton of stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's neutral.
Amy says it's Ann and Minnie's.
Yes. Well, it's neutral in the sense that blue jeans are a neutral, and you're like, it's a dark blue. That's not really a neutral color, but it kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's that way with thicket.
And Pinkaba, what is your pattern for the sweater you have on?
Gosh, I have to remember. I didn't like it though. But I don't even remember the name of it now. Arunco, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm fighting the shoulders a bit now. But the way that the shoulders meet up, like it was an easy enough pattern to make. I enjoyed all that bit, but fit of it is, I don't know, it's fitting a little oversized, which is okay. But my original plan of making these is I want to make a lot of them, and I don't I like it well enough to wear because the yarn is gorgeous, and I just love that. I thought it came together well, but
I feel like we had a conversation about it, that how sometimes when people size up their patterns that they don't accommodate, like just because you need a larger size in the bust or something, then you don't need your shoulders huge or so
yeah.
that is a little bit of the problem in that sweater,
Mhm.
is that you could have maybe, and then nobody wants to do that thing where you knit like one size of a shoulder and then you have to up, like it gets so confusing and goofy. So
I don't know. But yes, yeah, I
but it's
think it was.
beautiful and it does look great on you.
Well, thank you.
So
That's cool. But it's called the Arunco something.
Something cool like that.
You can get it on Lovecraft.
Yep.
May their spell check be kind to you and lead you in the right direction.
Yeah, usually if you're close enough, it's all right. So very good. Man, I am struggling this morning. I am sorry, friends. So, is it what Chicken Lady put here in the chat?
No,
no, it's not that.
A.
That's what I was picturing in my head. So,
but anyways.
So do you want to open do you want me to open our Advent, or do you want to do other stuff first? Should we continue on the Chicken Lady infomercial? I love, we have her Advent. So it's like this giant, 5-minute infomercial for Chicken Lady. Hey.
That's right. No, I still like to do that because I have knit up all but 2 days. So we can show it off.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to start with 19 because Anne says that's where we left off, and I believe her.
Thank you. So, thank you for believing me. Thanks for being with me in this time.
She is my pal, and I trust her judgment. Ooh, it's a very, very rich navy, maybe. It's very, very dark and saturated. Very pretty.
Very dramatic. You want me to read the verses?
Sure.
Day 19, but he gives a greater grace. Therefore it says, God is opposed to the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Submit therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. James 4, 6 through 7.
Very nice. Oh, I dropped one. Let me see if I can fix this. Okay. All right.
Day 20.
Yeah, let me find it. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at how those go together. It's got some oranges in it. Look at that.
Yeah, the fade is really awesome. Sorry, day 20.
And I don't really like orange, but maybe we can get behind this. We'll see. We'll see. Shall I read day 20?
Sure.
Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Humble yourselves in the presence of the Lord, and he will exalt you. James 4, 8, and 10. Okay. So, 21. Yeah, Chicken Lady said that she's here for the infomercial, which is fine. I mean, as a sponsor, who's going to say no to that, right?
Exactly. I'm here for the infomercial. Well, Lynn, you kind of pay for it. Not specifically to do this infomercial, but generally that's not a sponsor.
So we're going from our navy to our lighter blue with more orange. Mm-hmm. And I found the inspiration picture, and I don't remember where I put it. So
I don't.
Oh wait, where's my bag? You're gonna have to read this one. I don't know where I put my bag.
Oh, sorry. 21. In him we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of our trespasses, according to the riches of his grace, which he has lavished on us. Ephesians 1:7-8. I I know you just said you're like, I'm not sure about the orange. Okay, this tone of orange, it really like in the Olympics, is it the Norwegians? Now I'm gonna because in my mind it's
Wow.
the Norwegian skating team, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's another one of those, Norse countries that go for that. But yeah, I don't know, I think of it as a very sporty color of, very
Yeah.
winter
Yeah, I see what you're
athletic
saying.
kind of right. Sorry, 22.
Okay. Ooh, look it. We're even more orange now. So look at the
Bring it
vision. Look at that. Cool.
Woo.
Pretty. So day 22 is, he has told you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you, but to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. Micah 6:8. I've always loved that verse.
It is. And also, there was a little chat about Charlie Kirk in the chat. He had that on his desk.
Oh, yeah?
Micah 6:8. Yep.
Nice.
So, I mean, of course, it's the thing where I'm used to a different translation. So, it's, he has told thee, O man, what is good, and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justice and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. So there's that little difference of wording there.
My younger kid was learning. There's a class at co-op where they're learning Bible verses, and they were practicing with my husband, and I just kept going, I know that verse, but for some reason it doesn't sound right. And then I found the translation that I learned, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's why. I just couldn't quite put my finger on it. But yeah, sentiment's the same.
Yeah. Well, when I worked at the Bible camp, there was it was that verse, but set to music.
Oh, cool.
So that's another.
You can sing for us?
Well, I mean, I just said all the words.
Look at, now we're fully into orange. We've faded straight into our orange. Look at that fade.
That is a great fade. Like, it's very well done.
Okay. So, is it my turn?
I can read it.
No, you read it. That's fine.
Okay, day 23.
No idea.
Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call upon him when he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. And let him return to the Lord, and he will have compassion on him, and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. Isaiah 55:6-7.
Okay. Now I'm curious where this is going to go, now that we've gone into the oranges. Interesting.
Yeah.
A light blue and a more corally orange. Cool. Let's see.
Kind of beachy.
It is. Here, I'll hold it like this for you guys. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my anxious thoughts, and see if there be any hurtful way in me, and lead me in the everlasting way. Psalm 139, 23, and 24. So,
yet another song prompt.
Yeah? I don't know it. Pretty. Okay, why don't you open 25 and show it? Because I'm going to show mine too, but you have one open, so.
I do. I mean, I have opened the rest of them and worked with them through the week. Ooh.
Pretty.
This is very different.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very springy color, though. Like I mentioned robin's egg before. Like it has that kind of a vibe to it.
Yep.
That very.
And you said beachy, and this has got more of that like beach tone in it. It's got some of the blue, but the
blue
brown and the.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty. That's interesting. Sorry. The verse for the day. Call to me and I will answer you, and I will tell you great and mighty things which you do not know. Jeremiah 33:3. But yeah, that's very pretty.
Very cool.
Here,
and it kind of took a turn I wasn't expecting. Like I saw the inspiration photo, but yeah. Look at that.
Well, here I'll show off my shawl. But like, and this too with the yellow, it's a little callback to earlier, just like the blue. You know, you have it fades out of the blue into the orange, and it brings back a little bit of the blue in there.
Yep.
But anyways, my shawl. Okay, I'm liking how my shawl is going, but also the way that that it's cooling a little bit is giving it kind of a little Mexican blanket vibe, which I mean, but look at that. Like that's
cool.
kind of the deal.
I really like that pattern that you've chosen to do with it. It's simple, but it's interesting. Like it's, you know, not fighting with because you've got some variegateds in there and stuff. And sometimes when you do pattern, it fights with it. So
right. So yeah, and like I said, pooling, not really, you know, in control of that, but it's worked out, I think, in my favor.
It looks sunsetty. That would be the technical term for it.
There you go. But yeah, and I do hold the yarn double on this, and when I hold it double, I make sure to match it, so you know, as close, so
it's not fighting.
Yeah, so that the color stripes are matched up as close as possible together, so it's not like marling with itself, that I'm trying to keep the, like, for these portions where it's you know, a lot of, you know, about half and half. I don't want to, you know, marl it all together. I want them to, so that there's stitches pure orange and stitches pure blue in there, and it's not all the way over.
Yep.
But yeah,
it's turning out really nice. Can you hold it so we can see like all of it, or is it too long?
It is. Sorry. Here you go. Whoop.
Very good.
It's gonna be a big one.
Yep. It's nice though.
I love it. It is very cushy. It's very nice. And yeah, it is a big old beautiful sunset.
It is. Look at that. I really like the way it's turning out. Very nice. So, do you have more to show off, or you got
I have that. Oh, and I'm halfway through the row. I should have done better than that. Do better. Do the work. But I have this shawl that I'm doing with the...
Oh, yes. I do like that. That's really
with the Mystery Mouse Advent leftovers that I had left over from the shawl I did. So I'm striping it with the... Sorry, this is all knotted up. But I wound the minis all together into one big ball, and then I have the main color originally from the thing. So yeah, I'll get 2 shawl scarves out of it. I'm pretty excited.
That's nice. I really like it. I wish I was a shawl person, but I'm just not. So
well, and I had to kind of restart this a couple times because I was like, oh, I'll do one of those long, skinny, you know, scarflet things, and then I'm like, nah. And I stole, and this is another one where I'm just kind of sort of making it up, but the slip stitch thing, I liked it a lot in this blanket, or not blanket, scarf, Flower Street wrap properly. And I like that detail, so I'm like, well, I'll just kind of do a bit more of that. I think it's turning out well.
It's turning out really nice. I like it.
But
cool. Yes. Okay. Well, while you were talking, my kid opened the door and threw in their project, so I have to show it off. So
toss it right at you.
They've been learning how to crochet. This is a dumpling cat. It needs colorwork stripes. Okay, my kid learned how to crochet like 3 weeks ago, so I'm really impressed. And the changing of the colors is a little uneven, but I mean,
a little pushing cat though.
This is supposed to look like pushing, and so they're going to finish it. It needs a bottom and little feet and a little striped tail. But my kid wanted me to show that, so that's that. And then this is something we were working on in crochet class, and I read the directions wrong. It's supposed to be like sewn so that it's like kind of like a triangle-y looking thing, but it's chicken. It's a granny square chicken, as you can see. See it? It's got eyes and a beak and a so I have to go back and undo mine because I just sewed it, not thinking that that was wrong. But yeah, because the kids wanted to do the amigurumi twice, and I'm like, so I've been finding all these different things. They struggled so hard with this granny square because granny squares aren't just like they're used to just working in a circle. But no, you've got to, do the thing, and then you've got to slip stitch to the spot you've got to be in, and then you've got to, like, it's different.
Right.
At what age can your kid join the program? I think that I have it for 10-year-olds at our co-op, so it's like 10 to adult. I've got 3 adults in my class, and then I've got kids ranging from like 10 to 14, because once they hit 14, they're taking like some of their regular classes, like sciences and stuff, so they don't have as much time for electives, unfortunately. But yeah, so that's the chicken. I gotta fix it, but it's cute. I like it. So that's that. And then I showed this on Tuesday, but I didn't really talk about it. So I made this hat on Tuesday. I made this hat last Saturday. And my husband and I went to a dinner at our local gun club, and it's a reverse raffle. So it's a lot of fun. They serve you dinner. And if you've never been to a reverse raffle, it's called the 300 Club. There's 300 tickets sold, and you sit there, and as the numbers get called, you're out. So the goal is to be the last person to be called, because then you win the prize. I mean, they have small prizes along the way. They do 50-50s. They do door prizes. So it's a reason to stay there. So we were at the gun club for like 4.5 hours. And I hadn't started anything. And so I had grabbed these 2 colors of yarn. The gray is Chicken Lady, the Giver. And this pink, I know it looks familiar. Yeah. I know I got this pink from Tina and Awana Yarn and Fiber, but I don't know what the color is. But it was several years ago, so she probably doesn't have it anymore. But
might is pretty.
And I didn't know what I was gonna do. And so I like freestyled it, and every hour I took a picture of it and posted it on Instagram just because I could. And it was a lot of fun. And then the next day we went to a lacrosse game, and I hadn't finished the hat, and we were losing so bad at the lacrosse game. Normally I don't knit at games like that because I'm jumping up, I'm shouting, I'm cheering. It was a bad game. So I knitted. I worked on my knitting, and I finished it there. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun, and it was just like freestyled, and it's like slouchy, which I don't usually love, but I think it's kind of cute, and it needs to be blocked. It's too stiff. But I don't know. I think it's kind of cute.
It is cute.
And I was thinking about doing mitts to match, but I don't know if I want to. We'll see.
No, I think it's adorable.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed making it too. And I haven't just knit for a while. I've been really busy. I was telling Anne, I got the one job that I hated, I got rid of, and I'm really happy about it. And then like the next day I got a new job. So like life has just been really a lot, not in a bad way, just a lot. And so I just enjoyed the knitting for the knitting, and it's so pretty. And my husband was like, why are you always knitting hats? I just love them. Look at how pretty it is. I mean, come on. So anyway, that's all I got. I haven't done a whole lot this week. It was fun though. It was fun to have that time where I was sitting, not doing anything, and I could just like relax, and I was talking to people, and it's a good time. So
that is nice. This past week was not crazy, but there was a lot going on. I don't know. I'm getting a lot of stuff ready. Well, knitting wars on Tuesday, which was a lot of fun. A little chaotic, but it was a good time.
Yeah.
Check the replay if you haven't. But yeah, that was fun. And then this upcoming week, going to MegaCon, so I've been doing all of the last minute planning and stuff for that. I still have to pack. I'm not a too early packing person, so.
Yeah, I'm not great at
But the
that
most
either.
important thing is always what knitting you're going to bring. So I have to bring Chicken
Yeah.
Lady shawl, of course, and I have to bring all the little packets so I can still open
Oh,
them
I
while
didn't even
I'm
think about that.
abroad.
Yep. You're not abroad.
Not
Traveling.
really abroad.
Silly.
I'm traveling. I'm coming from a new locale. But yeah, so that'll be fun. It'll be interesting. It'll be a good weekend.
Should be. That's cool. So we got on the Chicken Lady stream and we didn't announce our winners. Which
No, we
picked.
didn't. We didn't. It's funny too. So again, speaking of Tuesday, where previous Tuesdays we've talked about the Chicken Lady yarn. There was no time, man. There was no time. It was going. But the Chicken Lady winners. Okay, so first off, we have. I remember what our yarn was for February. Was it? I believe it was another one of these.
It was.
Because they are very pretty. And, talking about non-neutral neutrals, but this just beautiful, beautiful coral tone through that dark gray. Very, very puritanical knitting fun run, not gonna lie. But the winner of this is the lovely Dawn MC. So congratulations, Dawn. Please email us at politicallyincorrectknitters.com with your address.
Gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
It's right here.
On the screen. And yes, and we will get that to you. So that's great. And our grand prize winner for the Knit Against the Machine make along, who will receive lovely yarn and prize, and also a very lovely packet from Carista of Sweet Mountain Crafts, who wanted to send something along. But I don't have it in hand. Carista will send it directly. Is the lovely Katie Clark's daughter, Lily, who entered. So thank you for joining us,
Congratulations.
Lily. And congratulations on winning. We had, before we were pulling the numbers, we had 62 total bingos from everybody. And Lily won at number 42. So good for her. Congratulations.
Yep, congratulations. And she got a blackout, right? I think she did, and I was impressed because I didn't even get a bingo. So
I think she did. I think I remember Katie saying when she submitted it that she's been working hard on that. So good for her.
Yep.
But
yeah. Very, very fun.
So again, politicallyincorrectknitters.com. No, politicallyincorrectknitters@gmail.com. There we go.
I don't know why Anne doesn't know our email address all of a sudden, but here it is on screen again, just in case.
I can only keep so many facts in my head at one time, and I had to stuff the Strait of Hormuz in there today. So yeah, this is terrible.
All right, so we've done all of that.
We have.
Shall we start news?
Let's start news. There's so much news.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's have at it.
I'm very enthusiastic about the news because,
I'm sorry. Can I just interject one thing?
Please do.
If you guys don't know, there is a new knitting show out there that is a bunch of fun, and it's kind of lighthearted, and it's called Knitters React. We've got Amy, Therese, Tina, Yolanda, and I'm missing someone.
Tabitha.
Tabitha. Holy moly, I shouldn't forget her. I knew there were 5 of them. But they read like Reddit stories or different stories, and then they talk about the different things. They show off yarn and knitting, and Tina did a yarn for the Knitters React that's like gray with a rainbow. I'm a sucker for gray with a rainbow, if you couldn't tell from my last knitting project, but it's a fun time. I haven't seen this week's yet because Oh, because I went to trivia on Thursday night, and gosh, I had a good time. I've never
Well,
done it before, but I knew the
well,
answer system stuff. So I missed it. I was busy like
we
having a
won at
good
trivia,
time.
but I think they're doing every other week,
Mm,
like we have knitting
okay.
wars every other week, but they do the opposite weeks.
Okay, so they weren't on this past Thursday. Good
Right.
to know.
Right.
Okay. See,
So
I'm
yeah, they
not
just have
totally
to.
up on all the stuff, but it's only one episode of every other week. Okay. So
Right.
still a great time. Check it out. So it's going to be on this upcoming Thursday. Lots of fun.
It will be. I look
So,
forward to it.
um, and yeah, just check them out. Give them a follow. Give them love.
They
They're
just
cool.
hit 100 followers on YouTube, so good for them.
Yeah, after one episode.
Yeah, one
I
episode.
mean, that's pretty good. And Anne and I hit that faster, but that was just because all the rivalry stuff was happening. So we were able
Right.
to like get like, but yeah, go over there. Go find. Have they banned history questions from trivia nights? No. And there was a Harry Potter question, so it wasn't a woke trivia night by any means, but it was fun. If you guys have never done trivia and you get the opportunity, it's a good time. Like, especially if you got some fun people to go with. I went with my husband, my brother, and they both know a lot more than me, so I just had a great time just like hanging out. um so yeah, but check out Knitters React because that's fun. And I love listening to freaking Reddit drama stuff. When I'm like tired and I got stuff to do, that's what I put on because it's mindless and easy to follow and interesting. So
Always something good
okay,
to laugh at.
now we're going to talk about news. So
Yes.
take it away, my girl.
All the news, just right there. All the news. And okay, sorry. Start with a lot of things. We got international, we got terrorist attacks, we got lots of good news too. Incredibly good news. And sorry, there's to wind back. There's so many people whinging and complaining about what Trump is doing, and it's like what more could you ask of the man? It's like everything you want is coming true, and you're like, well, he didn't ask me though. That seems to be the attitude from a lot of people, or the attitude of Trump doesn't know what he's doing. It's all over. And it's like, dude, he's known what he's doing and done above and beyond so much for years. And you're going at this point, you're like, I don't know. I mean, he saved everything else and he fixed the economy and he killed all these terrorists. But, I'm not sure he exactly knows what he's doing when no, stop that. Anyways, it's been a great week. I've been partying. So starting in chronological order of the week.
Okay.
Because I'm already everywhere because I am very excited. The Shield of Americas. If you want to watch Best of Trump this week, and all of it is Best of Trump this week, he's on a roll and he's hilarious. Do watch the Shield of America's press conference because that is okay. It was a funny speech. It was a good speech, and it was good. Trump had Hegseth up, and he had Rubio up to talk a bit, and Rubio spoke in both English and Spanish, which was kind of a funny moment too.
Cool.
Because
I know you've got a point, but how many more jobs can Rubio possibly get? That guy is doing all of it.
And it's interesting too. And I have a little bit of a question between him and Vance. I'm wondering. Not that I think that there's something up about them, but there's a little question there.
Okay.
Not that I think that they are necessarily at odds. But okay, so sorry, Shield of Americas. The point of the Shield of Americas is, UN, groups and international alliances and G7 type things. I mean, they're like group chats. You can just make them. You can just make those suckers. You can have 1 million of them. It doesn't matter. I have like 400 at home. So you can just create a confederation of countries from the Americas for common defense. You don't actually need anyone's permission to do that. As America, you can just do that. And the point of this is, it's not, it's for common defense, but it's specifically about cartels that we have all of these problems with. We have cartel violence, we have drugs, we have human trafficking throughout North and South America. And Trump mentioned in his speech, a lot of it is coming out of Mexico, but we also have, all these things, and like Colombia and other things. And the attitude thus far has been like, yeah, we want to stop this, but it's South America. It's just that way. There's nothing you can really do. The cartels are going to cartel. And this is Trump turning around on that, like, no, this is unacceptable and we're going to stop that. And if all these different countries are saying, oh, well, but our military isn't that strong, but there's corruption, we couldn't possibly stand up to the hotels, to the cartels that.
Same idea.
Yeah, I can't stand up to the hotels. It's terrible. You can't stand up to the cartels. That Trump is like, you want backing? We'll give you backing. That's what this is about. And part of his speech was, if you have a cartel boss, we'll, basically we'll send a missile right into his living room. Pew. And he's like, but only if they want, only if people ask that. And and that was as part of his speech. He's like, no, we're going to actually take care of these violent criminals. And if it takes military action, it takes military action. But living with unsafe streets, living in violence, living in this, living afraid for your life is unacceptable. And you know what? If it's in your house, it's going to be in our house. And even though that we, we're building a wall, we have all these things.
Sorry.
No, but
I interrupted you.
No, but that was the thing. And part of the thing too was that you have Marco Rubio with 1 million jobs, that he is very close with all these countries. That again, part of Trump's speech was he's like, oh, Marco, where are you at? Oh, I'm in Chile, I'm here, I'm there. And part of the joke was that Marco doesn't have the language barrier. That he's Cuban, he's very fluent in Spanish. And his speech was good, but he also did his speech in English and then did his speech in Spanish. And Hegseth got up after him and he says, oh, I only speak American. And Marco said, I only speak Cuban. But the speech is that, all of the countries here, they're not just our allies, they're our friends. And they've been there for us and we'll be there for you. And this is we have a very real relationship, and we want people to know that if you have a good relationship with us, it will be rewarded. Like, we're not fair weather friends here. You're here for us. We're here for you. And again, repeated that in Spanish. But the coalition of people for the Shield of America, okay, it's very interesting, but it's very interesting who's missing from off the list.
Okay.
Okay, so here's a list of people. Argentina and Malay was there and beaming and as close to Trump as he could possibly be the whole time. But we have
a little bro crush on him.
Oh, massive bro crush on him. just giggling, just incandescent. Just Trump, you and I, we're buddies.
It's like the glow of a new relationship when you can't get enough. Like,
I know, it's like, oh, hi. I really love you. Thanks for inventing this party and inviting me. No, but I mean, he's been doing great stuff for Argentina. So
yeah,
not to knock him.
No, I'm just teasing. It's just funny because these people don't like Trump, or some of them like pretend they don't, but then you see them like just right as up on him as they can possibly get, and so it tells you something.
Oh yeah, and I mean that's part of the other news stuff. Just there's a breakdown of old alliances that is really, it's bad, and it's something we don't want to see, but something that's it's in the final chapters now. But it's even there's a lot of people that even if they hate Trump, will be quick to take a picture with him.
Hmm.
do the big handshake picture and the whole, oh, we're buddies. And I mean, even Mertz, when he came to America, he had a bit of a hang dog look. Yeah, because he was talking smack about Trump to his own people a couple weeks before he came. Like there was, yeah, it's weird with Europe right now. Um, anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Shield of America's group of people. So we have Argentina, Bolivia, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, El Salvador, Guyana, Honduras, Panama, Paraguay, Trinidad and Tobago, and the US.
Okay.
So Canada's not on that list.
Mm-hmm.
And Mexico is not on that list.
Mm-hmm.
Neither is Colombia or Chile or Brazil, which is kind of big.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Brazil, I mean, Brazil is currently being run by a communist, and there was a election upset there. But yeah, that we have all of that. There's a lot of people who want to work with Trump, but there's a lot of big players who aren't coming to the table. Yeah, Yellowcat says so. The communist countries, yeah.
Exactly.
So you have, I mean, and you have some of them here, which is like, yeah, there's some of the countries are, you'd be like, okay, this isn't the most functional, but these are people who are like, we're coming to the table. Okay, we're playing ball. We
Yep.
want to be on America's side on this. And actually, using that really, using the power we have for, actually caring about what happens in other places in the world and not just in the general, mystical kingmaker sense. I mean, even and this is a diversion thing, but there was just a little press conference the same day. I think it was, what was it, Monday, Tuesday, that the Shield of America's thing. And Chrissy Nome is the envoy to the Shield of Americas. That's her move over job that she is a part of this. But Thailand and Cambodia were going to have a war, basically, that Trump called them up and stopped it. Okay, American interests, American interest really doesn't care, not care, which is terrible to say. But if Thailand and Cambodia have a war, like that does not affect America. It really, really doesn't, and it's a pity because there'll be a lot of people killed and hurt in this conflict, but that's not a big issue for America as a country. So having Trump, and there was a little joke in there that he was in Scotland at the time at his golf course. It's like, oh well, I missed a day of golf. It was beautiful, but that's okay. This is more important. Saving lives is more important. And I mean, even the cultural thing that the I guess you would say Queen Mother of Thailand had died, and Thailand. Their royal family is very forward, but also they have a couple of, I mean, I guess you would call them old-fashioned laws, that, like the King and I is banned in Thailand for being a supposedly less than flattering view of their royal family. But also, when a member of the royal family dies, the entire country, by law, has to wear black to go into mourning for them for like several months. It is a big deal. So having Trump say, oh, for making that the first part of their speech, talking about, Thailand and Cambodia having this peace deal together is an important thing. And also that Malaysia was brought in as a third party to come in and say, okay, the people can meet here and they can talk here. And anyways, having this peace deal, bringing them to Washington, D.C., and again, using that power of this is not normally the things that the president of the United States would deal with. But, Trump for all of his, people are like, oh, he's dumb, he's brash, he doesn't care about people, it's all about him. It's, all this that Trump is saying, okay, let's save people's lives, even if it technically, again, it's not, even if it has nothing to do with our interests. It's like, our it's the a Christmas storyline. It's like, human souls is our interest. So and I think the not being able to solve the Russia to Ukraine thing, I think that's really torquing him off. So, I mean, part of him like, well, I can't save lives over here in Ukraine and Russia with all those people dying. It's like, well, I can stop this war over here with Thailand and Cambodia. And also, he's like, and I will do this personally. And again, Marco Rubio at his shoulder the whole time. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. But yeah, so having, again, personal consideration for things that we would say, oh, well, it's not America, is very interesting. And yeah. And sorry.
No, it's good. It's a lot. I watch the news and stuff, but you like get into these things that I kind of gloss over. So I don't really know about the stuff going on with
well, and the Thailand and Cambodia. I mean, Trump he's like, we've stopped all these wars. And that was, again, it was on the White House YouTube page. So, go there,
maybe
look
I
at
should watch it.
Yeah. But it was very, I think it was like an on autoplay afterwards. And it's like peace conference at the White House. I'm like, I haven't heard of this. And I don't think it's something that's been on the news at all. But it's like, no, this is important. No, we should. And again, it's there's a lot of conflicts going on, and then there's a lot of little details in the middle of here, like like there's things like the Women's History Month show that Trump is still doing, where one of the Olympic athletes offered Trump her medal, and then there's still one-liners from Trump where Trump is like, international, it's like, Women's Day, women are the whole thing. And
right.
Like, yes, Trump, women are the whole thing. Which I thought was very, it's a funny line, but also it's a good line. And the rally he did in Kentucky. I don't know if you saw anything of that. I
missed it.
I love Trump's political instinct. And I think this has been a learned thing over time, that when a lot of big things are happening and a lot of serious things are happening, this war in Iran is a very big and serious thing. And many people have died on their side. A couple people have died on our side. And the fact that we have such a large scale conflict and every individual soldier that has died on our side has been individually named and mourned, there have been so few, is an incredible thing in itself. In the history of warfare, is an incredible thing. Not to say that it isn't tragic that people have died, but still that we have had so few losses. But having this rally in Kentucky where Trump is like, we still got it, we're okay. He's cracking jokes. He's cracking jokes about the name of Operation Epic Fury. He's like, they gave me 20 names and I was so tired and I didn't like any of them. And then I saw Epic Fury and went, yeah, that one. And again, classic Trumpisms. But also it's make sure that he's like, I'm here. The base is still here. I still care about you. And I'm going to, we're having fun here and we're winning. But I want, I don't want this to be something happening over here. It's like, no, what? And then also in the Kentucky thing, he talks about manufacturing and the tariffs still. And the tariffs were a big part of the Thailand thing that, again, he solved war by a trade deal. But yeah, talking about this, going through the Kentucky rally, talking about he was endorsing the opposition for Thomas Massey. And Massey's just stupid. He's one of those, he's like, I'm so principled, I never vote with Trump. And that's what Massey is. Yeah. So endorsing his opposition is great and was a big part of his speech. And anyways, but there's that. There was a line in his speech too, which was just funny to me. But he was talking about how many Iranian warships that they had sunk, and he said, "Oh, I was talking to my generals, and I'm like, and they're like, oh, we sunk this ship. And he's like, that was a good ship. Why did you sink it? Why didn't we take it for ourselves? And the general's like, he's like, well, sir, it's more fun this way. Which is,
That's kind of
and
funny.
and also, I mean, he mentioned it's safer, which makes sense. If it's kind of like ground warfare, there's going to be more casualties. So if you have
Right.
to put people on a ship to fight for it, there's going to be more casualties that way too.
Right.
So so that all makes
Yeah.
sense. But having the general, tell Trump is like, well, but we like sinking ships. I'm like, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, that's valid.
And a lot is being said too about the costs of these operations. It's like, oh, these missiles cost this much and they cost that much. It's like, but okay, so we have all these missiles. We are totally annihilating Iran, and part of it is we're totally annihilating Iran so they do not try again. And we want surrender. We want peace. It's like, all right, so let's load up the big guns. Let's show them what we got. But at the same time, this is also it's peace begets peace, or at least we hope it does. When the line from Psalms, I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. That we have the Cuban dictator has said that we're opening talks with the U.S. As Iran keeps going on, they're like, okay, we'll talk. We're talking. China is okay. First off, we're cutting off oil like nobody's business from China. But also they've withdrawn planes from Taiwan, but there's also kind of rumblings they might be going for an actual, like, not just Cold War with America, like they might be taking this opportunity, while America is bombing Iran, their ally, who they are not helping at all, and who they
Right.
sold crap equipment to. And who knows if they just sold them crap equipment or if all Chinese equipment is crap. We will see. But
I hope
they're
we
just,
don't see, but
well, I hope we don't see, but well, we'll get that. But anyways, that these quote allies who are just selling each other to the wolves. But if China and Russia, decide that we have so much overwhelming firepower that these other countries would be fool to fight with us. But if they kind of take this, and China's economy is in such dire straits anyways, but that there's a possibility that they could use this opportunity as America won't expect it. But that we are showing overwhelming force, and we are showing that we can deal that out. We have the capabilities, and our rockets work. So
there's that for sure. I don't know if you have this in your notes, but when you were talking about the cost of missiles, it just made me think of something I wanted to mention. Have you heard the nonsense about Pete Hegseth and the steak and the lobster?
Yeah.
So I was listening to Bongino, and he played a clip from Joey Jones, the guy on Fox News who lost his legs. He was a bomb tech.
I don't, but
okay. Well, he's a commentator on. He might be a weekend host or something, but he was talking about he was in the service in 2010, and he was talking about how he had this really bad day and they almost got blown up a couple of times and they had all these bombs to undo, and they got back to their place and they were like, I just hope I don't get the chicken tetrazzini MRE today because it's so bad, and like that would just make this day worse. And then they happened to get a steak dinner that night, a steak and lobster dinner, and he was like, we talked about that meal for freaking weeks until one of my buddies that I was working with got blown up.
Oh,
the guy survived, but then he died of cancer later. But
right.
So people are like on Hegseth about this, but it's like, dude, these guys are in the freaking thick of it, doing the worst jobs ever. And if we give them steak and lobster and it makes them feel a little bit better. And can you imagine having a meal that carries you through like months or weeks?
Hmm.
Like we are so privileged. We don't have to do that. Like
Right.
we can just have a great meal and then the next day we're like, oh, this is, you know,
Right. It's like, no,
and
we're sending them off to literally risk their lives and literally fight our battles. You know, give them steak and lobster first.
mhm. But you know, everybody's on about this and stuff, and it's like, well, in 2010, who was the president? Wasn't Trump, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's our buddy Obama, right? So like, it's not a new thing. It's not something that we're just doing. It's
No.
not. Um,
Yeah, it's something that we've been doing since World War II. But I
yeah.
I remember my dad, and it was more wild stories from my father. But my dad did some contracting work on, and I remember him telling a story of the base he had. The base that he was on had ribs one day of the week, and he says that's the only day of the week that they'd see the Germans. That
Hmm.
the Germans, which were part of the wider, whatever tactical force, but they'd show up on their helicopter on rib day, run over to the mess hall, get ribs, trundle back to their helicopter, and then we wouldn't see them again.
Yeah. But you know, they'll spend billions of dollars on all kinds of bullshit, but hey, let's give our troops something to look forward to. And everybody's like, oh no.
Yeah, it's like, oh, also as if Hegseth is eating them all himself. Like this is
Yeah.
Hegseth's personal food. Like, no, this is for the troops.
Oh.
This is literally for the troops who are
And
we are sending into battle.
it's not like he just started it. So it's like, go away. I just hate how everything is like, so I've never heard about this happening before because it wasn't an issue before. But now that Trump's in office and Hegseth's the Secretary of War and stuff, now we're upset. Like,
Now
go
we're
away.
making a big deal. Now we care about money all of a sudden. Obama was sending actual pallets of cash to terrorists on planes because that's what the Iran regime is. It's terrorists. And we were like, well, the
Mm-hmm.
Republicans weren't well. The Republicans were
Yeah.
mad the whole time. But it's like that is acceptable feeding people, isn't it? Yeah. Selective
Yeah.
outrage.
Selective outrage and the propaganda. That's the issue. Exactly. But
Yeah.
okay, that was just my 2 cents. I just wanted to mention because you made me think of it with the talk of cost of things. So
Right. No, totally. And okay, I want, oh gosh, we have so much here. I want to talk
quicker.
about a story. Sorry, quicker. Okay, I want to talk about the Iranian soccer team thing.
Oh
'Cause
yeah, Anne
that
was
was
pissed about this.
no, that it's quite a big deal. It
Mm-hmm.
was, and again, it happened before Tuesday, so I'm like, I was hopping mad, and like, okay, let's not bring down the room here. We have lovely new guests.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, that was great. But the Iranian women's soccer team, okay, so they, while they were in Australia, the attack on Iran was starting. They did not sing along to their national anthem,
Mm-hmm.
which was counted as protest and was counted by the Iranian government as being traitors in wartime for not standing with their country when they are being attacked. Now, you know that, sorry, if, okay, nobody wants to be arrested in Iran. Nobody, this is not good for anybody. This is not good treatment, but especially for women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That they're just the brutal and evil abuse is especially
Right.
bad. So it was very brave for these soccer players to do this. So, and because of what they did, if they return to Iran, they will likely be killed. And not just
Mm-hmm.
killed, made an example of by the regime. That is the kind of regime that we are fighting in
Right.
Iran. So this happened, and some of okay, and the team wanted to claim asylum, but some of them were kind of freaked out because it's not just claim asylum because if you claim asylum, then whatever would have happened to you happens to your family back home.
Right.
So there's this talk of this, but Trump does a truth social, and I'm sure he talked to Australia, and he says, do not send that plane. Do not send that plane. I know this is a delicate situation. Do not send
Mm-hmm.
those women back to die. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Trump doing more for women's sports than a lot of people here. That it's like, again, do not kill those women. That is essentially
Yeah.
what you are doing by sending them home. So, and if you want to say like, oh, well, but Australia, you can make an excuse to not send a plane into a war zone. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you can do that. And it seemed like Australia was like, yeah, Trump, we're going to do that. We're going to save these. And then they did not. The only women who made it out it's back and forth, but there's five, I believe it is five soccer players and two of the staff, because the staff is all, from the Iranian regime, IRGC. Um, so they are very much handlers when they are in foreign places, and that is
Mm-hmm.
another reason why they're, like I was sitting there looking at this news story, and I'm just like, well, why? It costs Australia nothing. Why are you
Right.
sending them back? What's the pressure from? Um, but anyways, you have the staff of these girls. So two of the staff and five of the players, or some people say six players, one staff. Anyways, seven people total
Mm-hmm.
escaped in the hotel, and they were able to leave the facility and claim asylum. So they are alive in Australia. The rest were put onto a plane. One of them was like being dragged onto the plane. Okay. Also, these women, when they first said Australia's like, no, you'll stay here, they say, yay. They all take off their hijabs and they take a photo smiling. Then no, never mind, which is also because this is very real morality police. That is another betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
That Australia would change their mind on that. Anyways, they take the woman, they drag them. Well, drag at least one of them. Some of the other ones walked. But from the bus with the little lights, they are flashing SOS, and they still took them, and the Australian police waves them on. And they go on the plane and they went to Malaysia. Last I heard, there's a stopover in Malaysia. There was some people saying that they were going to try to help them. I have not heard anything since then. It's kind of difficult to find news on that, but I mean, we'll update you as we can. But yeah, and okay, again, absolutely sick on Australia's part. That again, the Iranian regime is being attacked by America, but okay, Australia is part of the Five Eyes Security Initiative. Big deal, Five Eyes, that it's intelligence sharing between, and again, this is Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the UK, the US. The Five Eyes is over, which
Mm-hmm.
is terrible. It is terrible that we have been, well, I haven't heard from New Zealand lately, but that we have been systematically betrayed by the rest of the Five Eyes, that we no longer share intelligence with the UK, again, which is huge, a terrible
Mm-hmm.
thing, but huge. Canada is totally hand in glove with China, and China's the hand of that. Canada does whatever China wants.
Yeah.
But again, total betrayal, not working. We're not working along with them. But yeah, having again, this saving those women costs Australia nothing.
Yeah.
Um, and also part of Trump saying like, you don't want to keep them, we'll send a plane. We'll send a plane for those women.
Yeah.
That's fine. And also it's like, okay, are they afraid of the Iranian regime, or are they afraid of terrorists in their own country? Because again, we remember with the Bondi massacre, which the massacre itself was a shocking and terrible thing, but we said afterwards that they had people in the hospital recovering after being injured at the massacre, that they had changed their name and religion on their paperwork because they were afraid of members of the hospital staff doing something because they were Jewish. Like that is, again, which, okay, terrible attack in itself, but just shocking thing to have to worry about within Australia. But yeah, and having this slap to America, and it's a anyways, like I said, it's 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 like, are you allowing horrible things to happen to these women, to protect yourself, to diss us? Is that, what sort of a, I, I don't know. Like I said, I was really upset about it. And yeah, and no feminists are talking about it. No women's rights. Australia is
Nope.
the nicey nice of all places. We just really love women and we support them in sports, unless an Islamic regime perhaps has a problem with it. At unless we'll take in all sorts of refugees, though Australia's program is a little stricter than others. But it's like, oh yeah, oh, we love immigrants, we love those claiming political asylum, except for these soccer players.
Yeah. No, feminism's dead. It has been dead, and all of this stuff going on is just an example of it. They don't care about people.
Yeah, it's a it's a clear draw of rights for equal human beings, or you know or trying to, I don't know, score social points. It's terrible.
I don't know.
But yeah, but again, a part of the relationships breaking down, just okay. And I said last time, Commonwealth countries have, they've come to the parties, but they've not danced. It's like, oh well, I'll see you, I'll take a picture with you. Oh, America is great. And then their media will knock America, and their media will say, oh, well, America sucks. And they won't really do deals with us, but they'll take their money and they'll take a photo. They'll take our money, they'll take a photo, and they'll smile. And they'll take our intelligence, they'll take our funding, they'll take everything else, but they don't like us. I mean, in fact, I would say despise us for having used this. So, but having this real conflict, and you would think it's like, we are doing so well here. We so much winning. Psychologically, people are literally getting sick of winning, or thinking that there must be some problem with winning because there is so much winning. But that, and you would think that's like, oh, for your own interest, don't you want to be with the winners? And it's, even in the meanest sense. But it's like, we've been your allies for years and we're doing this great thing. And again, it's like there's, being despised for it, just being taking the little tiny bit of power that you have and using it to slap, America and Israel, and is definitely towards Israel too, who is a part of this conflict, because we're doing real things about terrorism, and which is what I said again previously about the Iraq war and other conflicts. I mean, France is helping us a little bit, so for what little that they're doing, excellent, because they were very helpful in the Iraq war. Their soldiers were always helping, but that I lose my thought. Oh, but that, people are like, our greatest allies over here. Oh, UK, we're such good friends. It's like, yeah, we do have that long historical relationship with the UK and with France and with other countries, but it's like, oh well, why do we have this relationship with Israel? It's always said that the relationship with Israel is insidious, and the relationship with these other countries is not. The relationship with Israel is serious about terrorism, because anytime a terrorist wants to kill somebody, they go for Israel first. So they're very serious, and they have to be very very judicious, very very gentle, very not gentle, but very delicate, about what they do and what they don't do, because they are in so much danger and because they have to strike so fast. So giving them weapons and them sharing information with us, and also they have the capacity to improve weapons technology we give them, and then they share the improvements with us. So that is also excellent. But they are serious about terrorism, and we are serious about terrorism. The UK is not serious about terrorism.
Right.
Okay. Europe is not serious about terrorism. Commonwealth is not serious about terrorism. And that is the difference between these relationships. And there was this funny video this week. It's just a little short one, and people can say, you know, if it's propaganda or whatever. But it was a little recorded video between an Israeli fighter pilot and the American force, and the Israeli guy was like, "Oh man, you know, honor to work with you. You know, glad to be here." And the American was like, "Yeah, stay safe out there. Strike hard. See ya." And it was just like pat perfect movie line. But yeah, it was, you know, America and Israel. People like, oh well, there's been some lefties who are like, you know, that America is spiritually Israeli, and like that's a bad thing. It's like, did I just get accused of having a best friend? That it's like, hey, we both care about terrorism here. We both care about, you know,
Actually protecting people's rights and stuff. Like, go figure.
exactly. It's like, no, we're going in Iran and we're killing all of their missile centers for real, and all of their terrorist leaders for real. And if they keep bringing up terrorist leaders who keep saying terrorist things, yeah, no, we're stopping it. We're done with that. And Trump keeps saying too that the families of people who have died, that one of the things that they say to them is, you know, that they're mourning. This is terrible, but they tell him finish the job, because they don't want this to be another wishy-washy conflict where we start out all big and we don't actually stop terrorism, which is what happened, you know, in these Iraq conflicts. And a lot of people are acting as if this is Iraq, and it's not Iraq, because the people in this case are much different. Iranians are not Iraqis. There's so much cultural difference here. And but we're finishing the job, and that's the point. We are doing incredibly well. Just, air and sea superiority, and this whole Karg Island thing, which is something that Trump said he wanted to do in 1988. He said Iran are making us look like fools, and if they did anything to our guys, I'd bomb Karg Island, and he did. It is there. There's a lot of military installations there, but that is also like 80 to 90% of their oil goes through there. And he did not bomb the oil side, he bombed the military side. So, and he says that, if things continue, he says, I don't want to bomb the oil side because it'll take like 20 years to bring that thing back. But if we have to, we will. But we're going to take out the military side of this, which is taking oil away from China, because the entire progression of this is taking away Chinese and Russian allies, among other things, so that if a hot war happens, they are cut off at the knees to begin with. So yes, so it's going very well. We're winning. We're winning like we haven't won before. But we are actually serious about terrorists in this war. Serious about stopping them, which is excellent. But yeah, those are and I know we're well past an hour. That we had a couple terrorist attacks this week. We had the Michigan synagogue attack, where a guy drove a vehicle into the Temple Israel synagogue in Michigan, which very luckily his was the only death, because it wasn't just a synagogue, it was a primary school. Like, there was kindergarten going on at the time, which they had private security also. There's a little back and forth there about whether or not the guy with the car, which was full of explosives, the official report was that he shot himself. The initial report, which again was older and probably corrected, was that the security guy shot him before he left his car. So that guy at least fired shots, even if the guy in the vehicle shot himself. Anyways, so that they had private security. Also, the FBI, rare win for the FBI, did active shooter training. Yes. There we go. Got there at that temple 6 weeks ago. so that the FBI is correctly identifying potential targets of terrorism, and they're making sure that they have security and training, which again, where FBI went, I'll give them that all days of the week. um, so that happened. We have the Old Dominion shooting, in which three were shot, one was killed, and it was professor of military science, Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw, who was killed in there. But he was stopped by the not the colonel, but the terrorist. The terrorist was a guy with ISIS connections who was formerly National Guard, and that Biden did not deport, and that he was let out of prison early. So you have that which is terrible, and that is Islamic terrorism within our borders, which is a part of the wider conflict going on right now. But we also have the ROTC guys subdued him. That the one of them had a knife, which was not allowed on campus, and the
Mhm.
old adage, only those who disobeyed survived. That it's like, oh well, this is a weapons free zone. Well, the gunner had a weapon in the weapons
Right.
free zone, but the guy who also had a knife in the weapons free, he had a knife and a winner's attitude. That he had a knife in a weapons free zone and was therefore able to subdue the gunman. And
Right.
it was him and also other guys in the class, jumping on him, subdue subduing him with their bare hands if they had to.
Yep.
That they were quick to act and incredibly brave. But and I'll, again, it is a terrible thing to think of terrorism and these attacks in the US, but also that because we have our Second Amendment, and because we have the sort of mental wherewithal, and the again, training is great. You should absolutely have training, but the first thing that you need in any of these situations is the will to act. And
Yep.
again, having armed security, at synagogues, at churches, at these places which are targets. It is also a primary school. Having armed security there is excellent. Having these ROTC guys who have military training to begin with, which is great, but also are willing to act, are willing to do this. That, so when people say sleeper cells, oh, and again, FBI, again, and yes, I'm for the abolishment of the FBI, but the FBI is actually proving itself useful. So I'm very happy about that. But yeah, we have this preparedness. So when people are like, "Oh, sleeper cells," like, yeah, having having terrorist attacks in America is not good. But we are not without preparedness, and also the American people themselves, even though this is a terrible thing, that we as a people, because of our self-defense, because of everything else, are much better prepared than many places in the world.
Hmm.
And also, everybody, it's good to be armed yourselves. Very pro everybody, you know, having knowledge and having a firearm. Of course,
Hmm.
that is your right as an American. Gun
Yep.
rights are human rights.
Exactly.
But yeah, lots of stuff going on. Oh, and also England, as a side note, has got rid of hereditary House of Lords, which they've only had for like 700 years. So whatever. And also trial by jury, which is kind of a big one, kind of a bedrock of
Hmm.
legal systems, fair and even legal
Okay.
systems world over.
England's going to hell in a handbasket. It really
Yeah.
is.
No,
One
and
example of what not to do, you know.
I know, and it sucks. Well, because like I said, with all Commonwealth things, like these are our buds, and they have been our buds, and lately they've been seeming like not our buds, and
Hmm.
they've been undercutting things like free speech rights. And you can say that during COVID was a crazy thing, and that we had we had lots of places all around the world that were undercutting free speech, undercutting rights, having bizarro police action for, overreaction to a virus and just weird attacks on people's rights. But there have been, then plenty of people fought back against that. But the difference in people and I don't know, that not just that a person does an action, but when you do an action, it also changes who you are as a person. Um, so that there's plenty of people who started out complying with COVID and then afterwards turned around,
Right.
and which is great. But the having the compliance attitude on one thing and leaning into, me, or even if you're like, oh well, I don't agree, but I will comply. That also affects what you do and who you are. So,
Yep.
but yeah, sorry, we're past an hour 20.
Yeah, it's been well, there's just so much going on, and we had like actual knitting to talk about today and all kinds of stuff.
Lots of chicken
So
lady yarn. Who doesn't love
I
chicken lady?
know. I know. I want to get done though because the post office closes at noon on Saturdays. So if I don't get over there, I won't get my yarn. So
Oh,
I know, and then that would be a sad day, and then I would have to do all the cleaning I thought I was going to do.
I know.
Whatever, right? But
Right.
so we are sponsored by Chicken Lady Fiber Arts. You can use the code. I want to fix this. Okay, you can use the code Ben Franklin, PIK, to get 20% off of your order of $50 or more.
Mhm.
She's got great yarns. She's got all kinds of stuff.
She does.
Oh yeah, this month's giveaway.
Comment below for this month's giveaway, which is First Bloom, which can be acquired at shop. Surima sock, made in the USA. Everything's
Beautiful.
dyed in the USA, of course, but also support American-made goods. We love wool. We love beautiful wool. Wool is a wartime commodity, and we support American manufacturing. So that is great.
Yep.
But yes, do that. Oh, winners again for the Knit Against the Machine make along. Again, thank you everyone for joining that. It was a good time. Again, Amy's in chat, but she sent me she was reading Charlie Kirk's book on the Sabbath, which sounds like an excellent book. Would, from her recommendation, I would also recommend, even though I haven't read it myself. But talking about the Sabbath, having a day of rest and sort of resetting. And in his book, he also recommends not looking at anything digital during that day. That is sort of a reset, and it's rather like knit against the machine, that it's a sort of insulating yourself against the machine. But yes, sorry, this is Gray rocking, which I want to show off again because it's so pretty.
It is pretty.
It's just beautiful. And yeah.
I don't know how to hype, but if you know how to, go for it. We would appreciate anything.
To hype, and thank you all for sharing, subscribing. But when you're on mobile, you'll have the video, and then underneath it'll have the little box for look at comments and look at live stream comments. If you swipe to the side, one of them will say hype. So if you could hype this video, we'd appreciate it. Yeah. It gets more people to see us.
Yep. And interacting. So that's part of why we like it when you guys comment after we're done, because it tells YouTube people like us, and then it shows us to more people, and then like-minded knitters find us, and who doesn't want that? Exactly. We want our community to grow, not shrink. So
exactly. You get a chance to get beautiful yarn. We get more people seeing us. It's like everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
And everybody loves
it's
yarn.
Great.
Sorry, Knit Against the Machine winner is Katie Clark Crochet's daughter, Lily. Congratulations to Lily. And also our winner of this beautiful yarn right here, the Black Canyon, which so stunning, is Dawn MC is the winner. So again, both of you lovely ladies, email us at politicallyincorrectknitters@gmail.com. I remembered the ending this time.
Yes. Yep. So thank you guys for watching. We will see you next Saturday. Have a good one. All right.
See you guys then.
Bye.
Bye.